Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good whatever time it is that you're listening to this, and welcome to another episode of the Volatile Times podcast with Daniel. Actually, it's supposed to be the Volatile Times with Daniel podcast. I don't know why I keep mixing it up. Anyway, welcome to another episode. Welcome to another lovely time with me. First things first, I'd like to say welcome to every single person that is new to this podcast. Thank you very much for clicking or playing this podcast and listening up to this for 36 seconds in. That is enough time for some people to be very, very interested. But thank you very much. And also thank you to those who have been listening from day one. You might not have listened to every single episode, but you've been here so far with me on this journey, and it's been a fun journey. Thank you very much. A little bit of confession. I wasn't going to release any episode for today because due to things that have been happening around the entire world, and the way people are reacting to things, and how people are being hurt during this time, and just feeling so pained and feeling so desperate for situations around the world. I actually took time off online for almost an entire week. I just came back Thursday, and it was a time I needed to take to just calm down and pray, because prayer is always effective. So please don't forget to pray concerning situations that are currently going on around the world. You might feel helpless and you might not be able to do much, but trust me, when you pray, things are put in effect. When you pray, shifts happen. So don't forget to pray. And my heart reaches out to every single person that is currently going through things. My heart reaches out to every single person who is feeling weak in their mind and feels their peace being threatened due to things that are happening. You understand? God gives us all peace, and God gives us all strength to go through these times. There's no time that is more volatile than right now socially throughout the entire world. And you are probably thinking, oh, this fits into the name of your podcast, but I decided not to talk about it right now because it's so emotionally charged, and I don't want to put my foot in my mouth saying the wrong things, and it's better to not say anything than to say something and have it turn out to be the wrong things. So all I'll do is just keep on praying and urge other people to pray, you understand, and just show sympathy and patience, because people are angry, people are exasperated, people are desperate, and people are panicking. So please don't react to some hate you might get online for commenting on something or anything, and also steer clear of clouds. So thank you very much. I just wanted to say that and take that charge before getting into today's content. So yeah. Okay, so you probably saw the topic for today, and you might be wondering, okay, exactly what exactly is this guy going to be talking about? And like I said before, I wasn't going to put out anything today because another reason why I wasn't going to put out anything before I had my mind changed was because what I wanted to talk about was purpose and destiny, and how both align, or whether they even align at all, and the differences and what exactly they are. And while preparing myself for this episode, I realized I hadn't done due diligence as much as I usually would, and I also saw that it was a very, very philosophically charged question, and I was wondering whether I wanted to delve into it philosophically and everything. So I decided to take a step back and just maybe just have this as a no episode Friday. But then while wondering whether, God, should I actually make this a no episode Friday, or should I just talk about what is currently going on, or should I continue in line with what I spoke about last week? Something dropped in my mind, and it was build your house. And while it dropped, I started working on it. I started jotting down and researching on it, and I actually prayed about it too, because yes, you gotta be praying, you gotta support your struggle with prayer. You gotta support your struggle with God, you know what I mean? Okay, don't mind me at all. Okay, so this is it. build your house. And while I was researching this, you understand, like I was like, is there an actual way to answer this question that will, help majority of the people that will hear this, you understand? And when I say build your house, building construction plans, establishing yourself, I had to specify it because building your house can be, building a family, building a home, building a business, building, but I wanted to make this about you, the listener. I wanted to make it about you, because when I have this question in my head, I think, oh, what would I like to hear? And also I try to relate it. If I was to answer this question to somebody, what would they like to hear from me, or what would be best for them to hear? So having that in mind, you understand, I segmented this into, like I have my notes here so that I'll be a little bit more structured and, just, go into this. So I hope, okay, I don't even know why I'm laughing so much, but anyway, so there's a quote from Jordan Peterson that I want to give first before I go on. He says, before you can change the world, you need to put your house in order. And then, in extension, he says, clean your room every day, which is a concept that I really don't follow. Like, I need to learn how to clean my room every day. Am I the only one that has this problem? I don't think I'm the only one that has this problem. And I don't think it's the only guy's thing that we don't clean our rooms every day. Anyway, that quote is by Jordan Peterson. Before you can change the world, you need to put your house in order. And while many people can, try to refute this and everything, it does speak to most people, because before you go out and say you want to effect a change, it's just like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror. Is the man in the mirror reflecting the change you want to, effect in society? If he's not, then that man in the mirror cannot effect that change. You understand? So with that in mind, I went to Google to give me a little bit of direction for this episode, and I typically decided, let me take the perspective of actually building a house, like actual construction. So I typed on Google and I said, how do you build a house? And I got some things from WikiHow, and then I tried to specify it a little bit. Okay, how do you build a house in Nigeria? And it got streamlined into 10 different steps with sub-steps. And you might be thinking, oh my god, that's much. Trust me, I tried to make this as short and precise as possible. So without further ado, let's delve into this. So first, find and choose a location to build your house. Find and choose a location to build your house, and things you need to watch out for while choosing a location to build your house is climate, the ground stability, how stable the ground is, access to utilities and stuff like that, and the community around. And finding a location, and you might be wondering, okay, how does this, help me? Finding and choosing a location to build your house, you understand, means you are deciding where to establish yourself. You can't build a house everywhere. Neither can your house encompass everywhere, you understand? So you need to decide, where exactly do you want to be based? What community do you want to be a part of? What group do you want to be a part of? What trend do you want to be a part of? You understand? You can't just be follow for everything. Do you want to be, an entrepreneur? Okay, what sector of entrepreneur, you understand? What sector of business do you want to go to? Are you religiously charged? Okay, how exactly are you religiously charged? Are you the liberal type of Christian? Are you the on the street evangelism, or are you the detestable 5 a.m. evangelists? If you want to know why I said detestable 5 a.m. evangelist, just let me know. I don't know whether the platform you're listening to this, you can give me a review on it. I actually don't know. I should be checking this things. But you can send me a voice message if you are using the Anchor app, or you can just reach out to me via my social media. Twitter and Instagram is the same handle, which is at Daniel Briggs. I'm not active on Instagram, so you can just send me a DM there. So you need to decide where to establish yourself. You need to decide what is the climate of this place. This group or this community that I want to establish myself in, do their principles match my principles, or do I need to match my principles to theirs? You understand? How stable is this ground? Is this something that will paint me as, is this something that paints me as profitable? Is this something that paints me as valuable? Is this something that paints me as, upright? Or is this something that paints me as a Malian? Availability to utilities, you understand. Can I get help in this place? You understand. Are there resources available for this place, or do I have to create my own resources? All that kind of thing, you know. And community, what is the climate of that community? What kind of people are there? You understand. Establishing yourself in a place, building a house, you don't just go and build your house anywhere. You want to build a house somewhere that will give you the comfort of, you know, living under your own roof, and also peace and joy while staying there. So you want to do the same thing for when you want to establish yourself. You just can't decide to be part of any community or, you know, any society. You need to choose what society you're going to be part of. And that leads me to the second one. What type of house? You understand? Which is basically, again, what kind of community, but now this is what is your own identity in that community. What is your own identity in that community? Take for instance, now you're an entrepreneur, and you know, or like they say in social media with content creators, your niche. You understand. What is your niche? What kind of person do you want to be in your niche? You understand. You need to decide all these things, and these decisions take time. Let me say this upfront now. These things take time. This is not a quick solution to life. These are things that take time. These are things that take daily practice and work. You understand. These are things that I am also currently trying to put into practice in every step every day to make myself better and to, you know, just build a stable life. And I am sharing them with you because I know to a certain degree that these have been helpful so far. So, you know, what kind of house do you want to be? Do you want to be a rooming type of house? What kind of personality do you want to have? You understand, in that community. When you're in that community, you're an individual before you are a community. You're an individual before you are part of a collective. You understand. So, what is your personality? Are you going to be a roomy type of house? You know, maybe a mansion, apartment, a penthouse, a terraced house, a duplex with a lot of rooms, a lot of layers, and everything. Are you going to be that kind of person, or are you going to be a closed kind of living space like a bungalow, or a hut, or a face my face you? Okay, I don't think anybody builds a house and say my house is face my face you. No, okay. It says maybe you are renting it out, but are you going to be roomy? Are you going to be somebody who absorbs a lot? Somebody who, you know, some people say, are you going to be an extrovert or an introvert or ambivert? Well, I think by this time you should already know that. If you don't, well, good luck on your journey of self-discovery. But what type of house do you want to be? You understand? And you know, you look at a house, you look at a mansion. A mansion speaks a certain kind of class. A duplex speaks a certain kind of identity to those who live in it. You understand? So that is the same thing. What kind of identity or personality do you want to portray in whatever community you decide to establish yourself? You've chosen the location. You understand? You've decided the location, but have you decided you in that location? And that leads me to other things. You understand? Like how many toilets do you want to have in that house? You decide what type of house it is, whether it's a roomy or a closed house, right? How many toilets do you want to have in that house? How much, for the lack of a better word coming into my mind, how much bullshit are you willing to take? You understand? How much trash are you willing to, you know, take in? How much garbage are you willing to take in? And then, you know, do you have outlets to take them out? Are you somebody who can handle a lot or somebody who cannot handle a lot? Because this will determine the interactions you have with those in that community. And you know, this is very, very important. Are you going to be, is the power that you're going to have going to be generated by a solar power or a generator? A solar power is basically depending on a higher power. You understand? Are you going to rely on self-peace and self-supply, or are you going to rely on the God supply, on the God provision? You understand? So I think that's important, because many people don't decide this. Many people don't decide how their faith and belief in God comes into play on how they structure their life, on how they react to things, and the perspective they take in life. So these are very, very, important. Is for your house, is it a luxurious type or a minimalistic type? You need to decide. Are you an excess type of person, or are you a, let's just only what we need type of person? You need to determine all these things. All these things go into what type of house do you want to be. You understand? You need to determine all this. Where will the TV go? Where will your TV go? And what that means is, what are you comfortable having public? What information are you comfortable having public? What aspects of you are you comfortable having public, because this is a social media life and everybody is on social media. Everybody is public except if you have no social media presence. You understand? And you have no friends with social media presence. Everybody is public. So you need to determine how public you want to be and what exactly is going to be public about you. These are things that you need to determine. So if you know what you want to be public about you, you might determine whether you want to be a glass house or whether you want to be a wall with small window type of house. Okay, so now looking at the third point, the third point is select the property on which you want to build. Remember, the first thing was find and choose a location, find what type of house you want to be, or determine what type of house you want to be, and now select the kind of property you want to build on. You understand? This is more about what platform do you want to establish yourself on. What platform do you want to establish yourself on? And this will probably be much more in line with content creators, entrepreneurs, and those who want to be influential on social media or something of that kind, I guess. Or maybe it doesn't even have to do with social media, and it has to do with society and community. You understand? You want to be valuable to the community, you want to be contributive to the community, but you cannot be contributive or valuable in every aspect. So you need to choose what platform, what aspect you're going to be influentially, what property you are going to build on. You understand? And also, where do you want to start from on that property? And now I recognize that sometimes you cannot have the decision of where to start from. Sometimes we like to start from the middle of the mountain, but usually we are born in the valley, like deep down in the valley, and you wish you were at the middle of the mountain. So like Seth Godin said, why not start from the valley of the mountain and make reaching the middle your goal? You understand? Why not start going to that middle? So sometimes you can't change where you come from. You can't change where what kind of family you were born into. You can't change what kind of community you grew up in, but you can work to have a better life and a better version of all those things. So the fourth point is estimate the costs. Now many of us don't estimate the cost of most things that we get ourselves into. And I'm a pure example of this. I'm a victim of this. I've done follow for like half of my life. Follow a little bit for like half of my life. And, it cost me dearly because I took up a lot of views. I took up a lot of things that really now I look back on and I'm like, why did I even do that? I had conversations and, supported things that really like now just appall me and all that kind of stuff. So estimate the cost. You understand? When you're building a house, you need to know you need to determine your budget. You need to determine what can you let go of and what can you not let go of. What piggy bank to break, what check to write. You understand? You need to determine all of these things. And it's the same thing for when you are trying to build yourself up, trying to make yourself better and everything. What can you afford to start losing now? What can you afford to let go now? What should you afford to let go now? Also, what is it going to cost you? Establishing yourself in a particular community might mean you will never be able to interact with another community. It exists, yes. Fair? No. But it exists. Establishing yourself in a certain community might mean you never get to interact in another community. You understand? Establishing yourself in a niche might mean you might never be able to, jump over to another niche. So you need to determine, are you ready to bear that cost? You understand? I know some people who, after they got into the faith, after they accepted Jesus and everything, they were ostracized from their, gatherings before. They were ostracized from their social life before by their friends and some family members because they couldn't support that decision. You understand? And usually along the line of improving yourself, self-discovery and self-development, which are not the same thing, but that's another episode, you might lose some people simply because some people might not support the change you are trying to effect, or they can't keep up with the change. And sometimes when you're trying to change yourself, you might not be able to carry other people along. So even other people need to be strong to endure your change too. So sometimes it's not your fault, but you need to prepare yourself to lose some things. You need to identify what is essential to the change that you want to occur. You need to identify what is essential to the construction you are going to be doing and what is an accessory. Because here is what you want to do. You want to make sure you have your essentials ready, available, and in extra, and then get your accessories. You want to spend on the essentials first. You want to build your prayer life. You want to build your Bible study life. You want to build your acts of giving. You want to build your acts of kindness. You want to build a healthier perspective. You want to have better control of your emotions and things like that. If those are your essentials, then you need to spend more on those things than the accessories. You need to identify which is your accessories. You understand, changing the series you watch, things like that. Spend more on the essentials, make sure the essentials are available and maintained well before the accessories. Then, what is the price of the land? You need to know what is the price of joining these people. Everybody has a price. Every clique, every niche, every community has a price. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Every community has a price. Now, that price is not money. I'm not talking about money. Sometimes it is, what kind of people are you going to meet? How do they like being interacted with? How do they like being talked to? You understand? You're an entrepreneur. You're building yourself up. How do your customers like being marketed to? You understand? Many people don't think about this, but how do your customers want to be marketed to? How do they want to be wooed and flirted with, to come and buy your product and everything? You need to think about this in the same way you're joining a new community, you're joining an NGO. What kind of people are there? How do they like to talk? How do they like to talk to people? How do they like to be referred to? You need to understand all these things. Which lead me to my fifth point. Decide how much of the construction you do yourself. When we are building up and when we are making construction plans, this is how I'm going to structure my life and everything. You understand? We tend to forget that you cannot go through life alone. Neither can you build a house alone. You understand? Although some people have attempted it, I'll not lie. Some people have attempted it, but when you look at it at the same time, they didn't do it all by themselves because they didn't get all the wood by themselves. They didn't build all the construction tools by themselves. They didn't supply every single material that was used by themselves. They might have done the actual constructions themselves, but they didn't get all the materials by themselves. And this is important. You need to decide how much of the construction you will do yourself. You need to decide how much of the construction of your life you are going to allow people to partner in, because you need people to partner in you. You need people to invest in you. You need people to invest in you. So how much or what aspects do you want people, are you willing for them to invest in while you're building up yourself? You understand? And this involves, family, friends. These investors are going to be your friends. They are going to be your families. They are going to be your mentors. They are going to be your students, because while you're building up yourself like I am currently, you will probably have people that you teach along the way. Teach what you know, learn to give, teach what you know. So which leads me to my sixth point. Consider hiring a builder on contract. You understand? And there's this thing I learned, that you can have a temporary mentor. You understand? Sometimes you are trying to build up your life. Sometimes you're trying to change yourself, and you see an example of that change you want to have. You can make that person an example. You understand? And just make that person a reference. Also making the word of God a reference. You understand? And taking the life of Jesus Christ and how he taught people as a reference also. So you can hire a builder on contract. Doesn't mean the builder is going to do all of the work. Doesn't mean the builder is going to it's basically is not Hey, Jesus, take the wheel, or how does that song go again? Take it from my hands. Oh my God, I miss that song. It is not Jesus take the wheel kind of project. This is something you need to actively work on. Jesus will help you, but he will not help what is not there. So you need to involve Jesus, but you need to know, that involving Jesus does not take, or involving even any other kind of mentor doesn't take all the work off you. In fact, he puts most of the work on you, because they will simply just whoever the contractor is will simply just point the way, and you have to go in it. You understand? The builder cannot, the person you contracted, the contractor cannot just say, okay, I'm going to turn the terrace into a balcony, and not ask for your permission. He needs to ask for your permission to go there. And he will just point the way that, okay, why not turn the terrace into a balcony? Or if that's even possible, I don't even know much about building houses, oh my god. Anyway, why not turn the terrace into a balcony? You need to go in that direction. You understand? If you don't go in that direction, he can't turn the terrace into a balcony. So the 7th point is, be approved by the government. Now, this is, I was a little bit skeptical about adding this in, but when you are building a house, you need various permits. You understand? You need various permits. You need various licenses and all that kind of stuff. It's the same thing with structuring your life. Same thing with changing who you are. Same thing with improving yourself. You understand? Same thing with trying to make yourself better for yourself and for your community at large. And by community, I mean family, friends, and even the place you live and your neighbors, etc., etc. And what I mean is, by government, is basically you need to be approved on a basis of faith and filial piety. And what do I mean by that? The change you are trying to effect, will it take you farther away from God, or will it take you further to God? You understand? The changes you are trying to effect, will it estrange you from your family, or will it enable you to become closer to them? Because if the change will bring about a negative impact on currently existing relationships you should be improving in, then that's probably not a change that should be approved. You understand? What are the matters of faith? What is your faith? What are the principles of your faith? You are about to adopt any construction you are doing. You are adopting new materials. You are adopting new people into your life. So you need, during this time is when you need to be mindful of the company you keep and the principles you adopt the most. Are these principles approved of God? You understand? Do they threaten your faith, or do they solidify it? Do they promote it? You understand? You don't want to start involving yourself in communities that will make it hard for you to talk about the gospel, or you don't want to establish yourself in communities that will make you not want to talk about the gospel, that will make you not want to stand for God in broad daylight, even in the face of danger. So, you also don't want to establish yourself on platforms that will make you deny where you come from and your family, and make you ashamed of your upbringing. No, that is not right. Like, can we get an amen in this place? That is not right, sincerely. So please be mindful of these things. Be approved of the government. Let the construction plan be approved of the government. The location, the platform, everything, let it be approved by the government. So now, that leads me to my 8th point, which I think is also very, very important, which is communication. No matter what plans you have, if the plans exist only in your head, nobody will be able to help you actualize them. If you only have the construction plans on a paper that nobody has ever seen, or in your head, the workers, the bricklayers, the carpenters, none of them will be able to make those plans a reality. They will not be able to construct or build that plan physically. So you need to communicate with the workers, you need to communicate with yourself, communicate with your contractors, communicate with the process that you are going through, and communicate through the process that you're going through. Communicating with the process that you're going through is basically, constantly checking up on yourself. Am I in line with the change I want to effect? You understand? Am I improving myself the right way, or am I improving myself the wrong way? And communicating through the process basically means you are making sure you don't lose yourself along the way, and making sure you don't lose the investors you've gotten along the way. And which brings me to my 9th point: start building. Point 1 to 8 has simply just been about plans. You understand? But all these plans will never come to fruition. Your construction, you understand, your establishment of yourself, your building up of yourself would not come to fruition until you start building. The Bible says build yourself up in this most holy faith. You understand? How does it say that? It says by praying. You understand? Edification, praying. You need, and you can't just be like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Until you start doing it, it's never going to be. You understand? Dreams don't become actualized because you dreamt them. Dreams become actualized because you worked on those dreams. So start building, and this is, the 10th point. Identify which part of the construction can be delayed. Sometimes when we are trying to effect change, when we're trying to improve ourselves, we tend to download so much information that we can't keep up with it. So sometimes you need to ask yourself, okay, which part of this development or discovery or construction can I put on hold? You understand? A scale of preference would be nice. Scale of preference, decide, what aspects need more attention. You understand? Decide your essentials from accessories, your necessities. You understand? Sometimes it's okay to put some things on hold, just to be able to effect change in other things, because when you do those other things, then you now have more time for that thing that you put on hold. So and this is part of estimating your cost. You understand? Sometimes you need to be ready to put some things on hold, whether it is something you're passionate about, or who knows, you need to be ready to put it on hold. You understand? If you cannot bear putting it on hold, you might have some problems that you might not be able to face or take care of. You understand? So it is quite important for you to identify which part of the construction, which part of your establishment, which part of building yourself up can be delayed, because sometimes you want to do everything at once. You want to absorb all the information and also practice all the information at once, but the truth is you cannot do that. You understand? Sometimes it can be too much to handle. You might be on a tight budget. You understand? Let's say you're trying to build a house, you're trying to build a disconnected duplex, but you can only afford one part of the duplex for now because of the budget you're working on. Simple. Then do that. Work on, use that budget and construct the first part of the disconnected duplex. And when you're done, you gather the funds for the next part. You understand? So if you can only work on your body for now, or you can only work on your mind, or you can only work on whatever aspect of your life you need to work on, start working on it. You understand? And then when you now get the capacity or an increase in expenditure budget to build the second part of the disconnected duplex, then you can do that. You can then start building on other things. You understand? You don't have to feel like as if you put things on hold, you are failing yourself. No. Sometimes quitting is a form of finishing. You understand? And sometimes putting on hold is better than struggling through. Sometimes we always think that struggling through is the answer. Sometimes no, chilling and taking a step back is the answer. And learn to bargain and negotiate with yourself. You understand? Negotiate. If you are going to identify the part of your construction that is to be delayed, and properly delay it, you need to be able to negotiate with yourself. Okay, I'm going to delay this to better work on this, and make sure you better work on that so that you can come back to what was delayed. You can restart that process that was delayed. You understand? So that's basically it. You understand? Negotiate with yourself, negotiate the price of delaying, and negotiate how that delay is going to affect you and the community you're establishing yourself in. You understand? And just as a bonus, when you are painting the house, this is basically on personality. When you are painting the house, use color palettes that speak about you. Use color palettes that are original. Don't paint yourself don't fake it until you make it. No, don't fake it until you make it. You understand? If you're somebody who is very much in touch with their emotions, you easily cry when two lovers kiss in a movie, and you go, oh, like me. Like, sincerely, one thing I've had problem admitting is that I'm a sucker for high school teen love dramas. You understand? Like, I go, oh my god, when they make sense. By the way, when they make sense, I go, oh my god. Nadia and Guzman from Elite, or should we even talk about the Marquez and Samu? Oh my lord. Even Omar and what's the name of that other guy? I don't even know. But So if you're, somebody like that, don't paint yourself to be otherwise. It just means that you need to learn how to control your emotions more so that you not get the best of you in reality. But don't paint yourself as a hard guy when you're not a hard guy. You understand? You only hurt yourself more than you hurt other people. So paint yourself with colors. Paint the house with colors that speak about you. You understand? If you need to spice things up a little bit, so don't go too far off the course. You understand? Spicing things up is a little bit nice. Once in a while, do things that are out of character. You understand? Just to keep up the creativity and just expand your horizon. But do not forget the garden path. Properly manage your electric wires. You don't want things that will make you yourself stumble. Wires are things that if you put them around anyhow, it's either you cause an electrical damage or you cause your damage to you. So if wires are out on the road, you might trip. So you need to pack them well. You need to fold them well. You need to pack them well, put them by the wall. You understand? And that will help you and other people. You need to be careful what you put out. You need to be careful, what you allow people to see. You need to be careful what you give access to. You understand? And install your essentials before accessories. Like I keep stressing this. Work on your essentials first before you work on the accessories. Spend on the essentials first before you spend on the accessories. Sometimes we tend to deceive ourselves that the accessories are the essentials. So this takes constant self-awareness. You understand? You need to be really, really self-aware and constantly measure yourself up. Am I spending more on the essentials or am I spending more on the accessories? Because one of those two will harm you more than the other if they are put in a priority scale that they are not supposed to be. So that is that for today. So basically, hope you remember all these things. Find and choose a location well, determine what type of house you want to be, on what property you want to build it, estimate how much it will cost, decide how much of the construction you want to do yourself, and whether you are going to be hiring a builder on contract, and make sure that you are approved by the government. You get your licenses, you get your permits, and remember to communicate with your workers, remember to communicate with your investors, because the plans in your head will not become reality, and neither will they be understood by people if you don't communicate to them. Start building. Don't delay. Start building. You have your plans. Don't delay. Even when your plans are not too full-fledged, start building. You understand? Start building. Identify which part of the construction can be delayed, because sometimes there will be a delay in construction. So you need to identify which part you will be comfortable delaying and which part must not be delayed. You understand? Remember to paint yourself in original colors, spice things up once in a while, arrange the wires well, and in all of these things, a builder cannot build a house if God is not building with him. So remember to build with God. Okay guys, thank you so very much for listening. Thank you so very much for listening up to this point. I cherish you, and I hope that the discussion today has been helpful for you as it has been for me. Seeing these things so structured, you understand, seeing these steps and everything, it's something that I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I can do this. I think I can implement this, because it's, for me, it looks so structured. It's not as structured as it will take a week-long research, but it is structured. And I mean to have this as a 3-part series. So the first one is about the construction plans. The second one will be about decorations, and decoration is basically, construction is about establishing yourself first, right? Decorations will basically deal majorly with personality, what kind of furniture you have. In other words, what kind of perspectives to have, how to determine what kind of perspectives to have, how to handle emotions, you understand, how to create a safe space in your development and all that kind of thing. And the third one will be when visitors come. Housewarming, when visitors come. In other words, who do you let into your house, and how do you know who to let into your house? Your house cannot be a community home. It cannot be a community pool. where everybody comes and just baths inside it and pee in the pool. You need to be able to determine who has access into your house, how you give that access. Are you going to give that access, or are you going to invite Elijah or Klaus? Which one are the two? You understand? So thank you very much again once more for coming this far. I recorded this by what's the time, Gossip? Yeah, this is 2:19 a.m. So like, if my voice sounded down throughout the entire thing, is because I'm a little bit tired. I got onto planning for this episode really, really late, so I'm very, very sorry about that. It won't happen. I can't promise that it won't happen again, but it won't happen anytime soon. So I said this is a 3-part series, so which means next week expect decorations. Today we talk about construction plans, right? Expect decorations. How do you plan your decorations, or what do you use to decorate your house? You've learned how to establish your house now. It's decoration. Decoration look cool by color curtain, color paint, color tiles, furniture and all those kind of things. Okay, at this point. Thank you very much once again. If you want to reach out to me and you're using the Anchor app, simply just send a voice message. And if you're not using the Anchor app and you still want to reach out to me, my mail is altdanbriggs, that's ALTDANBRIGGZ, altdanbriggs@gmail.com. And my social media handles for both Instagram and Twitter is at Daniel Briggs, Briggs with an AZ, not an S, Daniel Briggs. And I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much again once more for listening to the end. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this helped you get structure and perspective. And if it was for you, share it with other people. Don't just hog all this goodness. You understand? Share it. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.